Or are you struggling with it? Do you have difficulties? Do you have feedback for the system? We want to hear from you. So please call us 0302 216 541 or 055 1111 997. Wherever you are in the country, we want to know how your process of re-registering your SIM is going. Whether it's to do with getting the national identification card, whether it's to do with getting your unique number, whether it's to do with getting that final stage of registration done at your telco. We want to know how it's going for you. I think we have Emmanuel on the line calling us from Kumasi. Emmanuel, good morning.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
My brother, I'm very well indeed. Thanks for calling us.
Yes, I don't really have much of a contribution by way of how you can get it done, but I just want to make a point, and I'm a bit sad at what I was hearing on your radio. I just want to tell our people that we shouldn't make this a character. It's becoming too much. Like everything in Ghana just doesn't work. People should be responsible so they can do things properly, and then they can help our society. Otherwise, one thing leads to the other, and then there's some chaos somewhere. That's what I want to say, because it's just too much of a character that we have. It's like every time these things are there should be some kind of a delay like that, and it's always like that. We should go above this, at least this time around. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Thanks for calling. Now, there are some real reasons for these delays as well. We'll talk about those. But either way, the process seems to be a hassle for many people, and we need to understand why. William is in Gumwa Budubrim. William, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Kojo. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Thanks for calling.
Good. Thank you for thanking me. Anyway, my brother, I've not gotten my yet. Car. Every second of every minute of every hour of my time, my brother cannot be spent in a queue. It's obvious that government may have an ulterior motive for this whole thing. It has not been professionally done. It's like putting the cart before the horse. The first thing they should have done was to ensure that at least 90% of the population had gotten a card. The best way to have done it was through the census, where they will visit everybody, and everybody would have seen who is who in Ghana. Then after that, all the other linkages can come up. It's biometric. I'm an IT expert, so this is simple programming. But as it stands now, everything is haphazard. So what I think government should do right now is to focus more on everybody having the card. The rest will flow seamlessly. Have a good morning, guys.
Thank you, William. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. Let's go to Abukubi and talk to Isaac James.
Yeah, good morning, Kojo.
My brother, how are you?
Yeah, I'm enjoying God's blessings, and you?
Not bad, thank you.
Yeah, Kojo, I'm beginning to lose faith in this NIA system. One, because now the very revered professor who leads the NIA, I revere him a lot. They come and sit there and talk nicely to us. How come that I have registered the NIA card? I have my card. They have my biometrics correctly, as they said that this one is credible. Why do I also need to go and queue at the telco office for them to take my biometrics again? When maybe probably on my phone, if I entered my card and my other details, they can share the biometrics with the telcos for my registration to be completed. So if they say this thing is going to take care of everything, why? I mean, now they took my biometrics. The telcos is also going to take my bed. I mean, to what end? And so all the time we will keep on doing this, and we will never end. Kojo, we really have to get things right. We are making Ghanaians suffer for nothing, for no cost of ours. Please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Isaac. The particular issue that you've raised, yesterday we learned a bit about it. And the first thing is that this is not being done by the NIA. It's not to do with the NIA. So you can please feel free to continue revering the good professor. This data is not being collected by the NIA. It's the NCA that is collecting this data. And you ask very valid questions about why it is necessary for that to be done. Emmanuel is in Tema. Hi, Emmanuel. Good morning.
Hello, Kojo. Good morning.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Kojo, please. Nothing, it seems like in Ghana, we have everything wrong. I just went to the telcos. I generated my code and I went. And they are telling me the system is not working. I should put down my name and go, they will call me. I don't know when.
Which office did you go to, Emmanuel?
MTN office at Committee 6 here.
MTN at Community 6. And what did they say to you exactly?
The system has not been working for the since last week or so.
Wow.
I don't know. There are people who said they've been coming since Monday and still they are unable to even get the simple registration of the SIM after generating the code and having whatever is needed to just register the SIM. And this is very bad. You can't go through that hell getting the NIA card, and at the end of the day, you come back and these people too will be telling you the system is not working. But their mobile system is working. Everything that generates income for them is working. But the one that will enable us register our SIMs now is not working. What is that?
Thank you, Emmanuel. Thanks for calling. And of course, we are engaging the telcos. Today, they should have been here for different reasons. Each of the telcos we invited could not make it. They have promised that they will be with us at a later date. Ransford is in Teshi. Hi, Ransford. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I started mine, that was on the 1st. Anytime I try to register, what they tell me is that my card is invalid. I try money to get the NIE, their contacts. I called them. They said it's a technical. I'm getting the same feedback. So my question is, if my card is not valid, why did they issue it at the first place?
Did they explain what this technical issue is?
They did not. They did not.
Which office?
It's kind of frustrating.
Which office did you speak to?
I don't know. I called the number. They didn't tell me. They said in NIE.
Oh, on the you called them on the phone. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Ransford, maybe it's time to pay a visit to the office.
Wow.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't take you hours to get this sorted.
And have a nice day.
You too, Ransford. Okay, Domabing is our next stop. Omusumuru, good morning. Do we have Omusumuru from Domabing? I think we may have lost Omusumuru, but please call us. We want to know where you are in the process, whether you're having any difficulties, whether it's going smoothly for you. Yeah, let's hear.
First and foremost, this is a very laudable project that the government or the NCA or whoever is in charge is. And if you've ever been defrauded, like myself, you would applaud the government for taking this initiative. If you are defrauded, the police will not help you. They will tell you point blank. They would even make it as though you, the victim, you were there, and then took money from me. And till date, nobody can even trace that number. And it's very strange. So I support the government 100% on this initiative. However, there are problems that ought to be addressed. And, I mean, as always, in this country, we don't put the right people in the right positions. Otherwise, these things should not be happening. And I wouldn't even have the time to go and register now, though I applaud the government for that, because as people are complaining, how come that you've taken my biometric details and you have to take it again, or somebody else ought to take it again? It doesn't make any sense. Why can't they share the biometric details with the NCA? It's just duplicity. Everybody wants a way to extort money, take money from the little taxes that we have. Why would you not just have a central database where all these information are kept? Why must we always be providing our biometric information, which is not even safe for us in the first place? DVLA will take it, Passport Office will take it, NIA takes it, Electoral Commission takes it, NCA is now taking it. Really? So, I mean, you have laudable projects, but at the end of the day, the system will make it so frustrating to the point that people will lose confidence, and we are back to point zero. Now the telcos, and I wonder why they are not in your offices, because I have a lot of questions for them. If you are defrauded today, mobile money, they will never mind you. There is no hotline to call. And I even expected the Ghana Telecommunication Chamber, Kenashibe, to be in the studio now, because I have a lot of questions for them. If you are defrauded, there is no number to call. You can only send a text message, and nobody will respond. They will respond many days after, only to tell you that the money has been cashed out and that you ought to report to the police station. They don't play any role whatsoever. And I even suspect, as I said before on this station, that most of the fraud that happened, some of them I suspect, I don't have any evidence, I suspect it is emanating from the telcos themselves. Therefore, they wouldn't even want this project to be successful. How come that they will tell you the network is not working? When the last caller just mentioned it. And law enforcement ought to take place. These telcos, they are foreigners. Ghanaians are working there. That is good, but they are owned by experts. They don't care what happens to you, the Ghanaian. All they want is their money. But should that be the case? Because when I go to the bank to do a transaction, my details are taken. So nobody can just go to the bank to operate as the mobile money vendors or mobile money system is operating, because there's no strict way to even find out that this transaction that you are doing is for this purpose. This is for this is for that. Therefore, anybody at all wakes up, just deceives people, take their money. So I support this project 100%, but I would want the government to really rethink about this. If the head of the NIA, Professor Atefua, is not competent enough, he should be kicked out, somebody else brought in, so that this system works. Because once you have a central database, that is going to go a long way to help us. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ben. Thanks so much for your contribution. Lots to unpack there. Although, I mean, you identify the head of only one institution and ask whether that person is competent. Try and remember there are several other institutions involved in this. And it's not even the NIA that is asking for your biometric data again. Let's focus the attention where it should be. Thank you, Ben. Abdullah is in Ejisu. Hi, Abdullah. Good morning.
Good morning, Dave.
My boss, how are you, sir?
My problem is, the last time I went to register for the Ghana card, they told me that I have to get somebody who has already registered for it to come and guarantee for me.
Right.
I went there with my in-law. He's having the card. Now, when I went there, they were telling me that I have to have. They were asking me my birth certificate. You see, meanwhile, you people said the requirement is the birth certificate. If you have the birth certificate without a guarantor, they can do it for you. Now, I went there without a birth certificate. He said somebody should come and guarantee for me. I brought the person, so I have to still leave my birth certificate. I don't know whether because of my name or whatever, they were doubting whether I'm not a Ghanaian or whatever. You see, and again, why is it that anytime we want to do something like this, there's always queue. There's always queue. There's always every. You see, we should understand that we have something to do at the end of the day. When they break like this, you have some small work to go and do and other things. So we should make things very simple for especially the workers. You see, the last time I went there, a lady there was complaining that if she doesn't have the Ghana card, this month her salary will not come. And it was already 7:30, and she has to report to the work 8 o'clock. How is she going to do it? You see, at least they should come to the institutions. Okay, we'll go to the institutions and do it for them. Go to the Ghana Education Service, do it for the teachers. Go there and then do it for them, so that the queue will be the pressure there will be very limited. If not, everybody has to go there and do it. My brother, it's not going to be easy.
Fred, thank you so much. Thank you. Sorry, Abdullah, thank you so much. Let's talk to Fred now. Fred, how is OEB this morning?
It's okay now. I have an issue with the MTN.
Right.
I used the NIA card to register my Vodafone SIM. That went smoothly. But when I try using it for the MTN, it says that my particulars, that is with NIA, does not correspond with what I've keyed. So I should go to NIA. I've used the same ID to register Vodafone.
And when I check the star 400 hash on the MTN, the name is Fred Kojo Bene, meaning that they've used Fred as my surname and Bene as the first name. So when I key in the surname and the first name, does not correspond. So now I have to go to MTN. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, actually, you may have to go to the NIA as well to regularize the name and ensure.
No, the NIA is correct. It's Bene is the surname, and that is okay on the card, and I'm able to use it for the Vodafone.
I see. So you are going to have to go to MTN to rectify it with some ID or some proof of ID.
Yes, that is the challenge there.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, it's not very convenient for you.
Not at all, could you?
Yeah. Oh, well. Are you experiencing what Fred is experiencing? Have you had similar difficulties? Call us 0302 216 541 or 055 1111 997. We're talking about the SIM card registration, re-registration process. How's it going for you? If it's smooth, we want to know. If it's not, we want to hear from you too. Kofi's in Kumasi. Hi, Kofi.
Hi, handsome Kojo. How are you?
Hey, handsome Kofi. Long time.
Yeah, long time. You see,
what's up?
Issues in the country are inevitable. Every day, new issue. We have registered our SIMs. I think during Kufuor's time, I used my passport. All the information that is on my passport are on my Ghana card. And so why should I go and register with my Ghana card again, whilst the same information is on the Ghana card? You see, handsome Kojo, I am a blind man. I can't see anything. Now, I have registered on phone, and I am told that I have to come to the offices of MTN to do what, fingerprint or verification, whatever. I don't know. I cannot go. So is it the case that once I cannot go, what I have registered on the phone is not valid or what? I want to know that. Because, you see, there are many people who are blind as I am. And I don't think that they can also worry themselves and go to the offices of the MTN. Yeah. And so don't they have any special dispensation for some of us?
Kofi, that's an important point you raised, handsome Kofi. And actually, my understanding is that eventually the telcos are going to roll this out to their mobile vendors so that they can come to you when necessary. We don't have a date on it, though. We don't have a timeline for when that rollout will happen. And bearing in mind that some people are reporting difficulties accessing the system now, I think we would have to find out from the telcos when indeed they'll be able to come out and serve customers like you, handsome Kofi in Kumasi. Thank you so much for calling to bring that to our attention. Augustine is on McCarthy Hill somewhere. Augustine, good morning.
Good morning, Kojo. Absu, how are you?
Not bad at all, my brother Absu. Okay. So, what's up?
Okay. I want to understand. Why do our leaders act as if everything we are doing is rocket science and it's new under the sun? These things are being done elsewhere. And we have NIA has taken our biometrics. I do understand that. Yes, this has been done by the National Communication, whatever. But biometrics are biometrics. It hasn't changed. So what stops the telcos or communication authority or ministry liaising with NIA and saying, look, open up this bit for us. Let clients verify with their Ghana card. Once they are done, if you want to verify whether the card belongs to person A or B, you have their biometrics. Cross-check that. If it doesn't work, send an SMS to the person. Come to our office and get this rectified.
Yeah.
We shouldn't create problems for the average Ghanaian. Look at the number of man hours being spent queuing when it can be productive. The money we're losing because of a simple exercise, which is not rocket science. I think our leaders are taking us for granted. They know that when they say, go and do this, people will rush and do it. And so they come with policies without really thinking through it. Excuse my language, but that is what it is.
Thank you, Augustine. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Right, come with me now to Kumasi, where Derek is standing by. Derek, good morning.
Senior one, good morning. Please, I registered during the mass registration for the Ghana card.
Yeah.
That was when I was in school. So I left school to do the registration. I didn't get my card then. I've completed school, and I need the card for some of my registrations and personal belongings. And this is the situation. I've been to the NIA office in Kumasi for several occasions, about 4 times. And they will direct me to the GRA office. And I've been to the GRA office for about 7 times. 7 times. They will take my details. They will take my contacts. They will tell me, they will call me. To no avail. Up till now, it's over 3 months now. I've been going there to and fro. And I don't know what to do again. I'm even tired. I'm even tired of this card. I don't know what to do. So they should do something about it for me, because it's so worrisome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Derek, thank you for bringing that to our attention. And by the way, I want you to keep listening, okay? I want to take calls. I don't want to spend too much time. I want to take more calls. But after these calls, I'm going to tell you something that I've been told by someone highly placed at the NIA, which might explain some of these 2, 3, 4 month delays that some of us have had in getting our cards. Okay, so stay tuned, Derek. I'll be sharing something. Asmening is in Ewukugwa. Asmening, good morning.
Morning, Kojo.
Thanks for calling.
I think I'll go with all the callers talking about our leaders are just trying to frustrate us. You see, when this NIA registration started, I had been there several times. I don't have my card, just simply because you go to the centers and sometimes you see daylight robbery. They are just charging people. They are just taking bribes from people. Somebody even complained today, going to the telco, sees number this, and he's in the queue, and you see somebody else going ahead, and it's painful. This attitude of us in Ghana is bad. It's both the leaders and even the individual people are in position all the time. Because why are we not sharing the biometric data? Why are we letting people go in queue? Is it fun to see these things going on in Ghana? We are not being productive, and it's so sad. When are we going to wake up and just make sure that Ghana is first? Ghana is number one, not the individual pocket. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for calling. All right, let's go to Tema Ajiman Joseph. Governor, how are you, sir?
Trust you are doing well.
God is in control.
We thank God. By the way, you put to the center stage discussing issues that are bothering us. A great work done. Uncle Joe, during the mass registration, I registered for the Ghana card. Not with different office, but the office that they gave us that we should go. Now, when I was trying to register myself on the Ghana card, I've been told by 2 telco companies that my Ghana card is not valid. Now, I even spoke to a friend who is working with the NIA, and she was asking me if during the registration I did verification. Did I put my fingers on the machine or whatever? I did it. But my issue now also is, so are these telcos are trying to tell us that taking our verification will add up for them to be able to check SIM fraud? And if you are using a Ghana card, now you're able to tell me that my Ghana card is not valid, which means you are liaising with NIA. So why can't you get the data that you need from NIA? Because they have our picture, they have our fingerprints. So if you really want me to send you my Ghana card PIN or number, when you get it, why can't you get all the verification, the picture, and my fingerprint, so that you allow us to be with this kind of queue at their offices again? Uncle, I need an explanation.
Thanks for raising the question. And it's a question not for the telcos, it's for the NCA. Because yesterday, as we learned, it's not the telcos that are collecting your biometric data, it's the NCA. They are the ones who will have an answer for your question. John is at Roman Ridge. Hi, John. Good morning. Hello, John.
My question is, one, I try the first step to register for the use your card to do the MTN. I tried, but the limit over there. Let's say the timeline. If you try, then they will, either they tell you that your number is not correct or a time. I don't know. There's something over there that they have to do something about this. And then the second one, about the banking, the give time controller and accountant general has given a message that if you don't do it before December, you not get salary. I don't understand them. Master, and we have bank account and all those things. And this thing, we've gone through it several times. So they should come clear. We don't understand whether they said if you don't register or that. I don't know. They should come clear about doing these things. Because I don't know whether they like, if they see people in the queue, they like that. Because it will make the productivity going down. Because people will go and queue for the card. Meanwhile, they can do it badges. But why can't they do it? They say district office. Every district has a decision. They should go and do that. Everybody should come and queue and be doing that. Delay time, all those things. They should come clear about that. Thank you, Kojo.
Thank you, John, from Roman Ridge. Let's take one more call. Let's go all the way up to Laura. Hello, John.
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
Good morning to you.
I think I would like to use this opportunity to say good morning to Honorable Anthony Cabo in Accra there. My brother, I think that as a Ghanaian, to get a Ghana card is a good thing. Now, my first question is, why the re-registration of a SIM card? Number two, I think that we have our voter ID cards, they said in the Constitution that they are legal. Now, the next question is, which Constitution is now telling us that the voter ID cards we used to register the SIM cards are not valid again? Now, my brother, I think that the biggest question is the telecommunication networks will tell us that it is because of the fraudulence that they are doing this. Now, who controls the SIM card in the system? It is the telecommunication network. Now, somebody will do a mobile phone fraud, then before you just call to them to complain, they will say that they have no right to trace those details. Now, it is, I would say that they have their hand in it. You understand me, my brother?
Well, that's quite an accusation.
To re-register SIM card, I will say that it is not necessary, my brother. Because the voter ID card, they say that it's illegal. My brother, it's just very, very annoying and boring. I think that the so-called learned professors and those who say that they have the big position, I think that my brother and my sister in Paga, Hamble, those rural areas, they are cheating us. I think that they have to do something. So the mobile phone I am now using, let me say that we are 28 million Ghanaians are using a phone. Right now, let us ask a question. How many of us are having Ghana card? Now, if they say that they will now block our SIM card within a year, then it means that the telecommunication, they will rather lose. If they want to do so, they should just mark it on the wall. They will lose. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. I've got to point out that you were saying that telcos are in on SIM box fraud. That's something you can't really say without evidence, okay? So thank you for sharing your thoughts, though. Thanks to all of you who called us. We appreciate your calls. There's so much to unpick here, Ray.
To be fair, we can make lives easier for everybody. I don't know whether it's deliberate or we just don't want to do the extraordinary things because people are paid to. That's the entire concept of governance. So some people are paid to take and think for the state in various capacities. Good idea. Mostly we like the good idea part. It's when we want to break it down into specific actions that becomes a very big problem for everybody. This is also because sometimes we are not so meticulous in how we implement some of these things. So you just look at it. Right from the beginning of this conversation, it's one thing is obvious. People are either ill-informed of the right processes, or we have just put hurdles in the ways of people to make it difficult for them to do simple things. Or some way, somehow, somebody wants the easiest way out, just pushing every burden to the ordinary person and making it impossible for them to also have the comfort. Let's not forget, people queuing there. Some of them are workers. There's also human resource that's going to waste just in queues. Some of them wake up as early as 3 a.m. What time do you expect that person to go back to sleep? Stay that far. What do they tell their their employers? So if I got permission to, for example, go and stay there and I'm staying beyond lunchtime, who pays for the additional hours I'm staying there? So all of these are cost one way or the other that we have not really factored into right from the beginning how we can make people's life easier and simpler for them. Right. If we had fixed that question, if everything we do in this country is answering that question, it will be simpler. It will be, we will not be having a lot of discussion about what to do, how to go about it, and people crying all over the place. Nobody is saying that there will not be misunderstandings and problems in the implementation of policy. No, I mean, we are not in heaven. So there's no perfection expected. Yes, there's no perfection expected here. What is expected is the ability to put in systems so that we can lessen the burden on the people, so that they can appreciate it, so that people can still go to work and do this. People can also do the ordinary things and not their lives being, interrupted in a very terrible way by these. Why is it that in this republic, virtually every government setup experience is terrible? You can pick out one or two institutions, but you dread it. You really wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to do this today.
I feel sorry for those who are trying. Those who are trying to do a good job in a system that just won't allow you to succeed. So earlier, and this is the information I promised to share with one of the callers. Earlier, I spoke to a highly placed source in the National Identification Authority. I was trying to understand the problem. So many people saying that, look, for months I haven't received my card. So many of those people now going to join these queues, making these centers even more busy than they ought to be. So that those who are just going there to get the new card are having to wait behind people who are awaiting their cards from months ago. And the person drew my attention to something. Do you guys remember, just a few months ago, the executive, that's the position, right? Executive Secretary of the National Identification Authority.
NIA.
Yes. Professor Ken Atifa was speaking on a radio station. And he said that they are opening new offices, all the district offices. And he was talking about recruitment. And he said that the president has told him not to give the jobs to party faithfuls. Do you guys remember that?
I do.
Yeah, not to give the jobs to party faithfuls, but to hire competent people.
Yeah.
Do you remember what happened to him?
A very prominent member of parliament took him to tax, actually dragged in the vice president, said because he had a relationship with the vice president, and he's not one of the people who went down to queue and actually seek for votes, he's downplaying the impact of party people. Yes. In fact, Gabi Asarachidako also wrote a very long thesis. A part of it really dealt with him, that he didn't manage the situation properly.
Okay. So you remember what happened following this backlash from, prominent NPP members? There were attacks on these offices. We did stories about this. They had to shut them all down. Now, what was the process? Do you remember? When you go and register at a district office, that district office is where you are going to get your card, isn't it? Okay. the cards are still there. And these offices have been shut down for the safety of the workers because they were being attacked. They had to shut these places down. So there are people whose cards are still sitting at district office. If you come to the head office in Accra, you are not going to get your card there. Yeah. It's not there. So these are real problems that are adding up to the confusion of this process. And this process is confusing. Yeah. It's confusing. You are telling me that I should come and verify my identity from information that I have put in a database that you say is the authority on who I am. Yeah. So I have come, I've verified my identity, but at the end of the process, I have to give you my biometric data again. Why? Am I no longer who I am?
So let's look at the election process, right? When you want to do verification, what do? That's just a machine there that you put your finger on it and says you are verified. So it only shows that you are data in the system. You are data in the system. You are the same person.
Now, the NCA is the one collecting this data. They have spent money to buy biometric equipment, which they have placed at the telcos' offices. God knows how much that equipment cost. They have spent money to buy server space at NITA. God knows how much that process costs. And they are using that to collect our biometric data. But why not simply spend a fraction of that on the what looks like a POS machine, the one that will simply verify?
Yeah.
So you put your thumbprint on and it will check with an existing database.
And it's not a very big machine, to be fair. It's a very small one. It's one that's operated by batteries. It's not something that you're required to put in a very huge telco's office to be able to do it.
So you see, I don't want to question anybody's competence. I don't want to. But you have to ask yourself, who are the people who sat around the table and decided that this is the best way to do this? Who are those people? And is there any accountability around this? Can we go back to them and ask them, why did you decide on this process? Following what has happened, is it working? What's your evaluation of this process you decided on? Is it still right? And in any case, why does the NCA now have your biometric data? Why? What are they doing with it?
Yesterday when the director of consumer and public affairs joined us here, Mrs. Bedu,
yes,
she did indicate, in fact, she strongly defended the position that it wasn't a separate biometric data that they were picking when you go to the telcos.
Oh no, she said it is, but it's being collected by the NCA.
The NITA.
Yes, the data is different from what the NIA is holding on their service.
Exactly.
So they're collecting new biometric data.
You're not. I just want to see the kind of equipment that they're using at that end.
Yeah.
And how much. So if you've, there are people listening to us who have gone through the process. Yeah. Yesterday, some people said, they spent just about 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Please describe the kind of data that they picked by way of the biometrics. What exactly were they? Was it all the fingerprints? And if you can take us through the process, that would be good. But there was a caller that said that why not wait to get about 99.something% of the citizens registered with Ghana card before you do any kind of integration? Because that's what is bringing the pressure onto the NIA, isn't it? Because, now all the government agencies are now saying, if you don't have it, you can't do this. So everybody is now rushing to get the basic card.
No, but see, let's go back a little bit. We knew that we would need the NIA to do all of this national database and all of that. And yet at some point in time, we elevated, what was it? The tax identification number, as perhaps the requirement for everything you could do in this country. If you recall, that it was so important that then along the line, so no. The Registrar General's office can fuse the two, so you don't need to necessarily get that one to make it the most important card you need today.
Yeah.
We knew right from the 2000s that we were going to make the National Identification Database our most important. I remember, somewhere in 2006, Bryce Simmons was even saying that all that you need is one source of data, whichever information can be then put into that particular system. So you have a passport number that then gets inculcated. But your most important part is getting the, ID from the NIA working. Why are we almost 2 decades into our attempt, the last one, to do this same thing about registration and also SIM registration, And let's not forget, we've done SIM registration like 2 or 3 times, formally, informally. Sometimes you are told that, well, we started the process, and then along the line, we need to do fresh one because there are updated ways of doing it. Even with the national identification itself, there was a point in time they told us that the card, we needed one with a bigger data, what they call it, data source, and that a chip was supposed to be embedded to give it out. Why are we always consistently confusing the people in the country about one simple process, just identification? Why do we find it so difficult to do it? Why is it that virtual, and I will not be shocked that a new government comes in, regardless of the legal regime that we currently have put in place, we'll just look at it and say, no, we can get a better system, which will be with a bigger memory.
Something that we should have done with this particular process
and
that we didn't.
And move it on with that process and continue that. Why are we always, in fact, the directive principle of state policy says that as far as practicable, previous government should continue what the next government does. But we start afresh all the time.
So look, I think we are asking very important questions here. Without the emotion, let's just think about this for a moment. Let's just think about it, Ghana. Please, okay, this thing has to work for us all. It has to work for us. But let's think about how we are doing it. First, we set up something called the National Identification Authority to be in charge of the identification of all Ghanaians. We set up a law that says that this is the only institution that is allowed to collect and manage our biometric data. And please, that thing that you've been giving out everywhere you go, you give your thumbprint, your fingerprint, your date of birth, that information, that information is valuable. It's sensitive. It should not be in the hands of just anyone. That's why the law says only one institution should collect it and manage it. So that wherever else you go, as Raymond said, you provide your thumbprint and it is simply checked against one database.
Official source. That
all right.
Everybody believes it.
All right. So the National Identification Authority, from the very beginning of time, for some reason, has never been able to get this done. And it's almost always a resource problem.
Yeah.
Almost always a resource problem. So the Electoral Commission wants to register all voters. A fortune is given to the Electoral Commission to set up their own register.
With biometric data collection.
Meanwhile, the NIA has still not been able to. And look,
they consistently review
so
every
the
4
same
or 8
thing,
years.
the same thing that the EC completed and succeeded in doing, which means it's possible.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
they were able. The EC succeeded in collecting all that data for the purpose of the registration, the voters register. Why is it that the NIA wasn't given that same money to complete that process, so that the EC simply has to tap into their database? Same thing happens with the passport office. You go there today, they'll collect your biometric data.
That's true.
Why? And when they collect it, it's money that they are spending on the technology
Time
that they
machines
use.
for it, anyway.
Yes. And their own database is storing that biometric data. You go to SNIT, they will collect your biometric data. They all seem to have the resources to do it. But the NIA doesn't. Why? GRA, you go there, they'll collect your biometric data. Now, the National Communication Authority is collecting your biometric data. For what? Me, dear, look, I have a suspicious mind. I'm sorry. I have no doubt that our communication network is being run by very honest people. Mr. Joe Anoche has a great reputation. Madam Esla Owusu Ekufo has a great reputation. These are great people. But one day, somebody will come and sit in that office who is not so great. If we set up a system that allows them to bypass safeguards and have access to sensitive information, we are not doing ourselves any favors. Let's make the system work so that no matter who comes to sit in the office, we are safe. Why haven't we spent the money where it should be spent? So we have one database that we can all rely on. Why? Who is benefiting? Cui bono? Anyway, meanwhile, other places have no problem providing premium service. You don't have to wait for hours if you go to the passport office. But anyway, look, let's take a
in
break.
fact, when I heard of the Danish experience at the other end, you'll be asking yourself, see, when I went to the passport office, in fact, they gave me TO. Their premium meant the money I paid for it sounded like a very good idea for me. And within a matter of, in fact, I didn't spend up to 30 minutes going through the process. And people were on standby. Why is he putting this up his hand? People were on standby to always provide some information. I was asking a lot about when I go take my pictures. Do I look like I can take the pictures now? What happened to the form I filled earlier? What happened to the data I had in your system before?
Did you have to take your biometrics again, even at the passport office for a renewal? Because that's what I'm getting. That
or
even
did
if you
they
have to
simply
go for
verify your...
if you're going to renew your passport, they have to take your biometrics again.
So to be fair, I put my fingers on what they call it. I think I put 2 or so fingers on so if that's they taking it, I actually did. I actually went through the process.
Why?
So that's one. I went through the process, but I was impressed with how it was a bit. I mean, it was almost like they respected what service they were giving to you. And that the people were there to help you through it and easily can go through it. Then you are done with the process. In fact, they kept in touch. No confusion about when to get your card or anything.
Let's get this straight. Did somebody call someone to say that Raymond Aqua from Joy FM was coming?
No.
Okay.
In fact, I mean, Dennis too did the same experience, right? Yeah. And I was impressed for one simple reason, that it could work somewhere, especially when you target premium. And that's important to me. That means I'm paying more for it. And I paid, is it 200 cedi? And I was really...
So the NI is charging 50 Ghana cedis more.
Yeah.
Okay.
For premium service.
And from what has been described, at least those who have been there, that doesn't sound like premium. If you have to be in the queue
we are
for like
now
3.5
starting.
hours.
Yes, but we are now starting to understand why the premium service has fallen apart at NIE.
Because the pressures are huge.
Yeah, and look
for virtually every corner.
Okay, so personally, I actually feel like, look, we should have spent a bit more time talking about that thing when Professor Kenatifa said that he's not going to be hiring party faithfuls, and he came under attack. I think we should have spent a bit more time talking about it. We should have asked our leaders, why are you attacking this? Why are you attacking this? Why do you even feel you have the right as a leader,
so basically,
to say that,
I'm doing what
to
is
say
right.
that, yeah, to say that your party members are more Ghanaian than others, so they are the ones who deserve to work in state institutions. Why are you even able to say that in public?
And boldly defend it. Let's not get it wrong. I mean, and boldly defend it.
Well, here we are now.
And some even basically making it look like this guy is not living up to expectations in that particular department because he's not taking care of his own.
Imagine that. Now, here we are. All the district offices are closed. People's cards are sitting there, gathering dust, and they are queuing at the national office. So you pay 250 cedis and you still spend 3.5 hours. Welcome to Ghana. Let's take a break. We're back after this.
Morning Show.
Center of the world and home to the headquarters of the AFCFTA. Abundant resources and limitless opportunities for business and investment. A great story of growth and attractive returns in a fast transforming country. Be part of this great opportunity and optimism. Invest in Ghana. Make it happen with the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC. Connect, let's talk, and guide you through numerous incentive packages for investment. We are open and ready for partnerships to grow in Ghana and grow with Ghana. Locate us at Vivo Place Cantonment Accra or call us 0302-665-12529. Online at www.gipc.gov.gh and on all social media platforms at GIPC Ghana. Drop us a mail, info@gipc.gov.gh. GIPC, your first port of call for investing in Ghana.